I liked it in my mouth, on my tongue. That was the highlight for me.
We're going to do us a little bonus pour here. I got a little something nice for Derrick, and I'm actually going to bring in Craig from the IT department. We're going to try a little something different. It's something that Derrick is on record for saying he's not a fan of, finished in something that he's a big fan of. So we'll see how these two worlds collide. Derrick, come on in here.
Yeah, we got
Craig, I'm on board. We're going to drink something nice. How's things going, man?
Great, man.
I don't know, you didn't really sell it.
No, I didn't sell it.
Don't leave me
Wow. All right, I won't leave it hanging. So we just came off the Whistle Pig, the piggyback. You had low expectations for that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you saw 100% rye, and your flags went up.
Yes.
But overall, not bad.
It was decent. Yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah.
It was smoother and went just softer on my throat than I was anticipating. Normally, I get a little burn from a lot of rye.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it.
You like the flavor profile? What'd you think of it?
I agree. It was a smooth rye. It was very drinkable, good flavor. Didn't have any of that, reflux at all. So it was good.
So a lot of the ryes, as you guys know, it only takes 51% rye to be a legal rye. The rest could be corn, could be malted barley, could be wheat, what have you. So it was really unique to try, 100% rye, no other grain in the mash bill at all. And I'm with you. I would have thought that would have gone the opposite direction for you.
Right.
That you would have preferred the minimum of rye.
Yeah, just give me a little bit of that.
Yeah, and you would have give me the wheat, give me the malted barley, and add a little corn, and it would have been your recipe, right?
I like wheat. The wheaty whiskeys I enjoy, and obviously barley's my favorite.
Of course it is. Yes. What's your overall take on ryes?
I like a rye. Obviously they're full flavored. It's not something I can usually drink many of. So I'm usually capped at a glass, maybe a second if it wasn't a big pour. But, it's kind of like I have a little bit and I move on. I appreciate it for what it is. But, again, I'd be more of a barley guy myself.
Yeah. So I've actually learned to really like finished ryes, which by legal definition is no longer a rye, but it is a rye that has been finished in another barrel.
Sure.
And the industry might have to credit Angel's Envy for really mastering that with their rye finished in a rum cask.
Kicking that door down.
Yeah, that really...
That's a bottle.
That gave the industry something. We can do something different here. I've always loved the blackened willet, which is finished in cognac.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight...
And I love finished whiskeys.
I know you do, yes. And I sure some of the hardcore bourbon guys think it's faux pas, but I really love what you can do with finishing.
Bring so many different characters.
So many different characters, flavor notes. Yeah.
I think it's the number one reason why I don't really go to bourbon at all is because
you get the same.
They're not finished.
You get the same variations.
Same. Yeah, it's a narrow lane. Finished bottles are, there's added character, different profiles.
I will say, at least from the American whiskey, the bourbon side, I enjoy tasting them from a standpoint of experiencing and seeing what the nuances and differences are. But when I'm at the shelf, I'm gonna grab a Scotch. Irish whiskey. Those are the things I'm bringing home.
Yeah. I can agree with you. First and foremost, I like trying it all. I think you guys say the same thing.
Yeah.
But obviously as Scotch guys. Well, tonight I'm gonna pour you something American, and it is a blend of ryes.
Okay.
All right. A blend of ryes.
A blend of straight ryes. Now, that doesn't mean that there's no corn or anything like that. But from what I understand, it's majority rye, as high as 95%, and finished in port barrels.
Okay.
That's a good starting point.
Yes. I think you're now messing with both of your emotions.
Yeah.
Right? I'm giving you something you're not a fan of, finished in something you love.
Yeah.
All right. This is actually a sought-after bottle. It's an annual release from High West. a Midwinters Night Dram.
I've seen it on the shelf.
I'm sure you have.
Pretty sure I've never tried it.
Not a cheap one. And it's been a struggle to get the past few years.
Okay.
So it's become quite the
I had no
the
idea
hunt bottle.
This was a blend of ryes.
Yeah, so I think it's 2 different blends of ryes.
That is interesting.
Some from High West, some from Indiana.
Okay.
Grab us a couple of glasses.
And that's why I opened it before we started.
That's all right. It's fresh. All right. So another little whiskey cave tip. I've gotten in the habit over the past years to tip the bottle upside down to wet the cork, and I haven't broken a cork since. So whether that's truly working or messing with my head, we're still gonna tip the bottle upside down.
I'm not certain that the 20 seconds of exposure is making that much difference.
I think it does, and I'm gonna go with that. I do it religiously now.
I've noticed.
Yes,
Lately, I've noticed.
and I think I do notice a difference. So, like I said, whether it's in my head or not, I don't care.
It's a nice rich color.
It does. It looks really good.
So, a blend of straight rye whiskeys, finished in port barrels. It's an annual release. So this is Act 11, Scene 1. 49.3%, so a little under 100. Let's get a nose on it.
Where's this coming from? What distiller is this?
This is High West.
High West. That's right.
Yeah. And not an expert on this topic, but I think High West distills some of their own, and I think they also blend it with some Indiana. MGP.
Yeah.
Vibrant nose for sure.
Definitely picking up on the port.
Definitely picking the port up. I still get
Yeah, I was actually going to say almost the exact opposite.
really. You're getting more
mostly just getting the rye.
Okay, so
Really?
I'm getting the sweet and the richness of the port, but I am still getting all that classic rye, cinnamon. Again, tendencies of winter is something I commonly say.
I think the port's kind of subdued it for me. Normally I feel like you get a lot more, of that spiciness in the throat, rye on the nose. But I think the finish is really
Mellowing it out.
Mellowing it
mellowed
out,
quite
yes.
a bit.
Well, that's what you would expect it to do with the rye is take those rye notes and just
Round it
round
off.
off those edges.
Yep.
Add a little dessert note to it. All right.
Well, that'll be interesting because I don't know.
Salud.
The ryes aren't as sweet, so we'll see what this adds from a sweetness standpoint.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's going to be a test for you. And I do want his opinion first.
You may have it.
I would say I'm still mostly getting rye.
Rye.
With a softening, a little sweetness.
Yep.
But it's 85% rye and 15% port notes.
Yeah, that's fair. I would go with that.
But it, like we kind of mentioned earlier, I'm getting no burn, nice and smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Silky smooth, actually.
So they advise you to drink this on a winter night next to a fireplace.
I can see that.
You could see that for sure.
I think it helps, though. I think it does the finishing really kind of takes the edges off.
Sure.
The palate was killer. I think that was a really nice palate swish. It's definitely a rye. You're going down. It's just kind of like a little more richness, sweetness than normal going down.
Rye
But
bread.
you feel that rye fire.
And I think on the finish, I get the port the most. The port's what kind of lingers in the back of my tongue.
Yeah. Yes, I would agree with that.
So it's like more rye. The very first of the ride is more of the rye flavors, and then it transitions to kind of the port.
Who's got
notes as it goes through.
I wouldn't call it a desserty finish, but it finishes more desserty than traditional rye, and that's what you're talking about. You're referencing there is the port sticks around just a little bit longer.
Yeah, I would say compared to the Whistle Pig, This is thicker, richer.
Oh, it's a lot thicker than the Whistle Pig. Yeah.
Stays with me longer.
And I'm
still like, a 60 seconds later, I can still kind of taste
lingering.
it.
Yeah, and I was very impressed with the Whistle Pig, especially at its price point.
Sure.
Yeah. Much thinner than this, though.
It's a lot thinner than this. Yeah. And I wish I knew how long they had this finished in the port. What little homework I could find, because they do different, and it's an annual release, so every year's got a slight variance one year to the next. But most of them appear to be 11 to 16 year rye.
Oh, okay.
So it's
they got some
a
maturity.
mature, and you can
nice.
taste that for sure.
You
I don't
do.
get anything youthful out of this at all. So
No.
I don't know how long it's hovered in a port. Whether it's just a few months, 6 months.
Yep.
It's
really
pretty
know.
dark. I mean,
It is pretty dark. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to guess it was longer than that.
Yeah. And I would imagine it's going to take a period of time in a port to overcome or to even put a dent in a rye note compared to malted barley or a Scotch.
Yeah.
Especially an Irish, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, rye's just so sharp.
I don't have a lot of my rye experience is relatively low compared to other varieties. So, and aged ryes are also less common. So I'm not really certain like how the mellowing process of aging rye, but this has been pretty well mellowed. You can kind of taste some maturity.
Yeah, I guess the $64,000 question there is how much of it is the aging and how much of it is the port finish.
Well, up until say recently, because it's generally available now, because I kind of think we're off the.
So I think I saw one recently.
But for a few years, probably a little bit pre-COVID and since 4 years after, they would come out and they'd be gone real fast. And, people would be fighting over them. So I guess my question to you is: at $150, is it worth the hunt?
Not for me.
Not for you.
Not for me.
It's okay until.
Isn't that always the way? I mean, I think it's probably not worth the hunt. And I guess it depends on who's talking, but I would say it's if you were getting a nice bottle with someone that liked ryes, then it's worth the buy.
Yep.
That I would say.
That's good, but I was saying,
like, if I knew somebody who was really into ryes and I want to give them a gift, I'd be willing to do that for someone else who would appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't appreciate it.
Phenomenal gift bottle for those who know.
Yeah.
And appreciate for
Yep.
sure. And I'm a little on the fence, in my opinion of that. I think the juice is good. I mean, clearly I can come up with a lot of bottles for $150 that I would probably prefer to drink.
Agreed.
But whiskey's for sharing. And people talk about this bottle in a fashion of, have you tried it? Have you experienced it? And the whole vibe of trying to enjoy it in a fireplace or next to a fireplace. So from a sharing perspective, I think it's absolutely worth the price point and the hunt.
I mean, it warrants being in the cave.
Yeah.
It definitely belongs, as part of the collection.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I enjoy it. I wouldn't overly rave about it, but it's good, and I like what they've done. And for that matter, I had the High West finished in Añejo tequila.
So
tequila
yeah,
barrels,
I mean,
and
I wasn't gonna bring it up because I didn't want to take away from the winter's dram here, but
I opened the floodgates.
I appreciate that. But we did have that a couple of weeks back, and I was really impressed with that bottle. I was literally thinking about it a couple of days later. Like, I look forward to another pour of that.
Yeah,
that was good.
I would agree. That bottle definitely gave me. I want more of that.
I want more of that.
Yeah.
Yep. It really stood out to me.
Yeah.
So when you mentioned the High West, I was definitely like, ooh, what do we got?
Yeah. But I think it's a great gift bottle. It's a great sharing bottle, wedding bottle.
Sure.
Fits a lot of those categories. I would not open this just to open it and just to pour it. I would seek the right occasion.
Yeah, the right moment.
This is an occasion bottle for sure.
The company that's going to appreciate it.
Yeah. Let's start us off with the score.
Ooh. Give me a sec.
All right.
I get a lot on the nose, like an 8.2, and then like 8.3, 8.4.
Mm-hmm.
I did like the linger on the finish.
Well, I'm probably right there with you. A little less on the nose, probably 8.1 on the nose. I'm gonna go 8.1, 8.2, 8.3. It does follow through. It's complete front to back. The nose complements the palate, complements the finish, and vice versa.
It is
well put together.
It is very well put together. Like
Yeah.
The experience is smooth. The transitions are nice. It's high quality.
I would say if we added a experience rating,
Yeah.
then I would give this probably like an 8.6 in terms
bump.
of, but a little bump up just
bump.
in, you know, a bucket list kind of
Sure.
scale. What do you think of the nose?
So I'd go 8.2 on the nose. I really liked it in my mouth, on my tongue. That was the highlight for me. So I'd go 8.5 on the palate and like 8.4 going down.
So
All right, we got 2 good clips we're going to use later. After
if
this
we do get
episode.
2 good clips, yeah, we're gonna cut that up a little later.
Too high? You don't like it, huh?
So we'll see how you like it in the mouth later.
I see a meme in your future.
I don't follow.
I'll tell you when it's over.
Yeah.
Yep. Looking forward to that.
We're having sharing whiskey, having fun, having some laughs, picking on each other. It's great, you know.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but I couldn't help myself.
You couldn't, could you? No. I almost had something to your defense, but I figured let it go. Let the audience clip it out, you know. So, but yeah, so good. It's a good bottle, good experience. Glad we got the time to share it. Glad you guys hung out.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Yes, thank
Appreciate
you
it.
very much.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Cheers.
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 I do know you like these sessions.
Yes.
Yeah. Just drinking.
There's no work. I just get
There's
to
no
spout
work.
stuff off.
Yeah.